choose to do something completely different in Civil Air Patrol. So that's why I let him do the IT thing. Also, we have a guest speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Andreas Wiesman, also known as Professor Barron, Associate Professor and Director of Aviation Technology at Utah State University. As far as my background, I'm a former cadet, came back in the late 70s as a senior member, and well, I had my group of baby cadets, if you will, and Cadet Wiesman and Cadet Matt Johnson were some of my cadets back in the day. So got them started and pointed in the right direction. Then I went off and raised a family and didn't come back until about 5 years ago. Other than that, let's see, been flying drones off and on for about 3 years. I am a private pilot, which I did for a few years before Mother Nature caught up with me and the FAA won't give me a medical anymore. And well, I'll let the rest of the team talk about themselves. So Doug, I'm going to hand this over to you. Before I do that, Mike, are you there? Okay, I don't see Mike. I need to make sure this is recording. So
it shows recording, Steve.
Okay, good. All right. So Doug, go ahead and grab the console and away we go. By the way, I remind everyone, please mute your mics and turn off your cameras so that we don't get distracted. Take it away, Doug.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Doug Heisner. I'm one of the deputy directors of the Utah Wing Unmanned Operations Program. I'm also a sUAS mission pilot, an instructor, a check pilot, and more recently have been approved as a check pilot examiner. I've been asked to help develop and implement the Utah Wing Unmanned Program. I need to share this screen very quickly. Are you seeing that?
Not your screen, just your face right now with your wonderful
just
picture.
Your smiling face.
Are you not seeing that, Stephen?
No, just your smiling face.
Oh no. What's happened?
Okay, there's your display. Go ahead and start your PowerPoint. Oh, don't start a new session.
No, it's not coming up. I don't know what happened.
Okay, you've got to be on the right window.
Doug, you can share your PowerPoint from your desktop, and that should work. But we're seeing your desktop now.
I don't know what's happened with this. I'm not getting anything.
Okay. Are you?
Go ahead and click the PowerPoint button on your taskbar at the very bottom there, Doug, and you should be able to see your presentation pop up on your screen. It's right there in the middle, right next to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint.
Yeah, the pink and white one.
Dead center, P. 2, 3 over. The other one. The other way.
The other over.
To your left.
To the left. Keep going.
The orange P right there in the middle.
Keep going, keep going. Yeah, the other way, other way. You see the W, X, and P?
I do not. I don't. I don't know what happened with this.
Try minimizing that window, the conversation.
If you allow me to, no, don't stop presenting, but if you allow me to take control.
Yes, go ahead.
There we go. And then we'll click this. Now, do you have two screens, Doug?
I do.
Oh, is it over on the other screen?
It is.
Okay. If you want to drag that over to this screen, you should be able to show it.
Well,
There you go.
There it is.
Yay.
There you go.
Hooray.
Okay. Well, I apologize for that, but now I don't have any of my notes. Well, anyway, the Utah Wing Unmanned Operations presents our Small Unmanned Aerial Systems Recruitment and Training Program. So the difference between a drone, a UAV, and a UAS, the UAV is simply an unmanned aerial vehicle, while the UAS is an unmanned aircraft system. And the difference here is the aircraft system, the UAS, incorporates the aircraft, the controller display, and the pilot. And it's all part of the one whole system. The FAA and the public, the term drone and UAV, they're all interchangeable. So here in the Utah Wing, the aircraft that we're currently flying is the Skydio 2, the DJI Phantom, the Mavic Enterprise 2 Zoom, and the Mavic 2 Pro. Eligibility in the program, everyone is welcome to participate. We have openings on the squadron level for an operations officer, flight release officer, mission pilots. We really need mission pilots with ground qualifications, technicians, observers, photographers, and recreation pilots. Some of the missions that we have in our program, search and rescue, disaster relief, and more recently, I have found out that we may be able to assist the National Transportation Safety Board in videoing their accident investigation scenes. The entry level, the technician position, is the first step in becoming a mission pilot, and everyone, young and old, is eligible to become a technician. For mission pilots, there is an age requirement, 16 years of age. You do have to hold a FAA certification as a remote pilot. There are 3 exams that you have to pass, an oral exam and 2 flight checks. Our flight release officers, in addition, get specialized training in UAS limitations and working knowledge of the FARs and the Civil Air Patrol rules and regulations for unmanned operations. Our flight crews are a complement of 2. Every mission has 2 crew members, a mission pilot and a technician. Additional crew may be assigned as needed. And so we're asked a lot of questions, but the most common question that we get is, should I buy a drone? Well, there's no requirement for you to purchase a drone. However, we have found that if you have your own drone and you go out and practice and fly, you accelerate in this program. The second most common question is, what drone should I buy? We've done a little bit of research, and we have found that the market for drones under $500, the DJI Mavic Mini Starter Bundle is a good choice. the Hollystone HS700, and my favorite, and the one that I use a lot and started with, is the FIMI 8X SE, the 2020 version. If you want to spend a few more dollars, the Mavic Air 2, the Mavic Mini 2, and the Mavic 2 Zoom. The most important thing in your decision to purchase a drone is just make sure that it is GPS stabilized. Now, I've been flying drones for a couple of years. Everyone that I know who flies drones all agrees on the most important reasons to go out and buy a drone. And it's all about fun. And we do have a lot of fun flying the drones and training and going out and doing exercises. And did you know that out of the top 100 jobs in the US, pilots are ranked number 26? And this includes drone pilots. So what can you do as a drone pilot? Well, there's all kinds of opportunities. And if you choose aviation as a career path, becoming a drone pilot has got a very bright future. The real estate market, lately drone pilots have been providing realtors with a perspective that was never possible before, using aerial stills, videos, and even 3D mapping created from data captured by a drone. Potential buyers can now get a comprehensive view of the property they're thinking about buying. The movie and TV industry and journalism, more and more we're seeing sweeping aerial shots in movies, TV shows, documentaries, and there's a reason for that. Using a drone, producers can now get beautiful aerial shots that were previously cost prohibitive. Agriculture, this was a surprise to me. Farmers have been using drones for a few years now to help them increase yields by surveying their crops, see which areas need more attention. Using a drone to do this kind of work is much faster than walking the entire farm on foot. It's also more efficient. The construction industry, inspection, and energy companies, more and more drone pilots are changing the way inspections are done in the telecommunication industry by conducting tower surveys and inspections in a fraction of the time required to send a person up a tower, making the process both cheaper and safer. Drones are providing faster, cheaper ways to inspect assets like power lines, solar panels for energy companies. More and more, we're seeing police and fire departments, public service organizations are using drones in a variety of applications. So what can you make as a drone pilot if you choose this as a career path? The average right now in the US for a drone pilot with about a year of experience is about $60,000 a year. So what do you get out of the drone program with your CAP membership? You get professional training. You have the opportunity to become certified as a Part 107 commercial remote pilot. And you get on a ground floor opportunity in one of the fastest growing industries in the country. For more information about our UAS program, visit gocivilairpatrol.com. Small unmanned aerial system operations. You will find a wealth of information here, and many of your questions will be answered. And right now, I thank you for listening to me. And if we have any questions, Stephen, it's all yours.
Okay, Doug, before you exit your video, were there any questions on anything on the slides that people need to fill on? Because we went through them pretty fast.
Wait.
Everyone's good there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you can go, I guess, go ahead and stop. Thank you, Doug. Lots and lots of different things. Now, a lot of people ask about the kind of aircraft that we fly. So if you look over behind me, I'm looking back here, and there's nothing there because it's a photograph. They're actually in my basement. Two of our major aircraft are Mavic 2s, and that's what you will see over my my shoulder. That's the gray aircraft. Over my other shoulder, this is a photograph of the Skydio, which is a current government U.S. government certified aircraft that we would be able to use on an Air Force mission. So we have a number of different aircraft. We have a very large one, a hexacopter that is currently being refurbished at national headquarters. Don't know if it's going to come back or if it's going to be replaced with something newer, but a variety of aircraft. There's an older DJI Phantom 3 that is also in our inventory. Any questions on anything that we've presented up to this point?
No, I was Hirsch.
Okay, well, in that case, we have another presentation to make. So, can everyone see this graphic?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
can see it.
All right. So it's my pleasure now to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Andreas Wiesman, also known as Professor Barron. Barron was one of my cadets back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s at Enterprise Composite Squadron. We met at the old wing headquarters on Fort Douglas. He went on to earn the Carl A. Spots Award, which is the highest award in the cadet program. And you know, I'll mention the other bullets here. He's an associate professor of aviation technology and director of the professional pilot program at Utah State University, retired command pilot from the Air Force, graduate of the Air Force Academy, more instructor certifications and letters than I can possibly say, so I'll just let you read them. And oh yeah, he's a very big advocate of the remote pilot program. And we've been working extensively with him and plan to work even more extensively in the future. And with that said, I will turn the presentation over to him and let him do his thing. Barron?
Hey, thank you very much. Give me just 30 seconds here to open up the presentation. Is my screen being shared yet?
No,
Okay, let me go back to the slide. Why doesn't it say share? Okay, now do I have permission?
Still nothing.
no.
Okay, why is it not? It says sharing. Does someone have to give me permission or?
Now you should be able to go.
You should be able to do it, Andreas.
Okay,
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
excellent.
be a PowerPoint.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. You know, Civil Air Patrol, this is my 40th year, and I have enjoyed this relationship with Civil Air Patrol. If I had time, I would talk about the 10 different wings I've served in, including the overseas group in the Far East when I was at Osan Air Base. You know, been encampment commander, had a lot of wonderful experiences, but I'm now at Utah State University, and I'm here to talk about this idea for a Civil Air Patrol UAS Academy. And I'm partnering with these individuals on the screen here. So myself, Captain Mike Logan, who's up there at Utah State University with us. He was in Civil Air Patrol in the 80s with me. Sean Barstow, one of our newest members. He's waiting to get all of his official paperwork in, so he's a senior member select. He's also retired Air Force and teaches with us up at Utah State, former air traffic control in the Air Force, as well as a C-130 linguist. Dan Robinson, many of you know him by Wookiee. He's also a senior member. I don't know his rank, but he and I have been building a UAS program up at Logan for the last 5 years. He works with Aggie Air, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. And one of our UAS pilots, Spencer Whitehead, who's graduating next month he'll be our first graduate of our new unmanned aerial systems degree at Utah State University. And so we're excited to have this group, to put this group together for you. Now, Utah State University is going to be our host for this academy in Price, Utah. And again, we have had a professional pilot program since the Civilian Pilot Training Act of 1939. So over 80 years of flying. Of note, the candy bomber Gail Halverson attended Utah State University. He's from Garland, Utah. And while he was out, you know, thin and sugar beets in the hot sun, saw airplanes flying overhead, and he goes, you know, I could be doing that. And he did. He joined part of the old Army Air Corps, was trained, and of course, after World War II in the Berlin airlift, became the candy bomber. And we are glad he survived COVID at 99 years of age. This is my former life. I have to show you that this aircraft had less glass than our G1000 Cessnas that we fly. But I just absolutely loved being a C-130 pilot and doing the mission of search and rescue. Another presentation I've given to cadets is where I talked about starting in Civil Air Patrol, running radios between the ground teams and airplanes during the 1980s. I was, as we talked about this morning, a Civil Air Patrol communicator, and I ran the Utah Wing Net. Fast forward 15, 20 years, I'm in the Air Force as a C-130 pilot, a rescue pilot flying search and rescue missions, running radios between the PJs I just airdropped, the helicopters I refueled, and the Army personnel on the ground that we're providing for. So I'm now full circle, back in Utah Wing, back involved in search and rescue. I got my start here with the outdoor development and had a wonderful opportunity to fly with Civil Air Patrol. That middle picture, I shaved my head because I was a swimmer, not because of Civil Air Patrol. You don't have to have that short a haircut, but that was my last encampment, or not my very last, my second last encampment at Camp Williams in the barracks there with the beds. I was honored to be a Cadet of the Year for Civil Air Patrol, and I got a solo scholarship. And on Saturday, April 13th, I was down at Provo Airport and got to fly. And this was a picture with a disc camera, so I won't call it a selfie, but what a wonderful opportunity to be able to do that. I did go to the Air Force Academy and jump out of airplanes and had an experience that is unbelievable. And to be able to achieve my dream, that the Civil Air Patrol helped me becoming a military pilot. Anyone guess what airplane this is that I'm flying right there and what my orientation is? This can be interactive. You can unmute and say hi.
No clue.
No clue. That's an F-16, and I'm inverted.
16.
Yeah, F-16. I was a red flag, and the reason I show you this is, number one, I love to be upside down. We do not do that in Civil Air Patrol, but I absolutely am thrilled that two of my boys went to the Air Force Academy, on the Air Force parachute team, and one of them is now an F-16 pilot. So maybe I had something to do with that. But today we're going to talk about drones. So drones 101, you got two type of basic drones, fixed wing and multi-rotor. And these type of vehicles we are now embracing with Civil Air Patrol. And so we want to be able to bring this to everybody through what we're going to call the CAP UAS Academy. I've searched the internet and tried to look around to see who else is doing it, and we are excited to be one of the first. When you look at the drone survival guide, these are all the different sizes. In the Air Force, I was honored to work with some of the larger ones, and these are the heights that they fly. And we're not going to be using that. We'll be in the small family of UAS systems, the ones that fly closer to the ground. But in the military, I worked with both the Global Hawks, Predators, and Reapers. And on this image here, what is the most important part of the drone that we want to care about, and then Civil Air Patrol we want to use?
The guy
Anyone?
under the tree.
Go ahead.
The guy under the tree.
The guy under the tree. Yeah, actually, that's a good answer, but I was looking for the sensor, right? The sensor is the most important part. I was the director of the Joint Personnel Recovery Center in the middle of Qatar, and I was responsible for all the rescues in the Horn of Africa, Iraq, Afghanistan, anywhere where we operated in Central Command. I worked directly for the 3-star general. And it was because of that sensor, the full motion video, the infrared, near infrared, the RGB full color video, we could provide surveillance for a long period of time, that persistent surveillance over a crash site. And so if these assets here were flying over a high priority mission, and I had a helicopter, I had mechanical problems, a Humvee rollover. When anybody was isolated, I was able to say, I need eyes on right here. And they would pull that asset off that mission because saving lives was our #1 priority. And I would have to wake the 3-star general in the middle of the night to say, sir, here's our mission. We'd like to execute a search and rescue. The rotors are turning on the helicopters. The C-130s are standing by to launch to go save lives. We had 700 rescues in the year that I was there. So what an incredible opportunity to be a part of that. And UAVs were the growing technology that was just coming online back in 2006. In fact, we quadrupled the number of missions and the ability to provide that within the 1 year I was there. When I was at the Air Force Academy after my mission, I was the director of airmanship at the Air Force Academy over the jump, the powered flight, and the glider program. And they asked me if I could start this UAV program. They called them RPAs in the Air Force. And I thought, well, maybe we'll get 25 that first summer. I had 200 cadets sign up to come to our summer program. Now I got hired at Utah State University, and my hiring committee asked me what I knew about drones. And I said, a little bit. Why? We'd like you to start a program. Again, because this emerging technology, I was able to start up this program at Utah State University. Why do I tell you this? Because drones are now a wave of the future. Doug talked a little bit about some of these here. We talk about weather tracking, hurricane hunting. You've all seen, the movie Twister. That's a real thing. Mapping. What used to be done by manned flight is now UAS, is wildlife tracking. They can track animals as they move with tags. Agriculture, being under the College of Agriculture, Aggie Air's been doing research, and we'll be talking more about that at our camp as we talk about the different roles that we can have. Disaster relief. We mentioned that this morning in the seminar, how the search part of search and rescue, we do a lot less. One, the technology is better. Two, people are a little smarter what they do. And with the ADSB and the different technologies, we can see where people are. But disaster relief is one where we're going to see more UAVs, because you can get photography up in the air with these digital cameras much quicker. Package delivery now, we're still testing it. Don't go out delivering package, but for relief supplies, they've actually tested this with some of the disaster areas. And I saw a drone at Oshkosh that could carry a 50-pound payload over 1 mile to be able to bring it to a location that is unreachable. And they actually tested this with the tsunamis in Japan a couple years ago. Aerial photography, this one is going to be one that we're going to see a lot of with Civil Air Patrol. Being able to do that aerial photography and assessment, real-time video is incredible. And the last one we talk about search and rescue, there was a mission where there was a lost child up in the woods, and they were trying to figure out how to be able to rescue and this individual, and it was not practical to get an airplane up there. And with search teams on the ground, they launched a drone, and within 20 minutes with a thermal camera, they located the toddler and were able to go rescue. So unbelievable speed and ability to get a small UAS up somewhere. So let's talk about our proposal. We are awaiting official notification to go to phase 3 so that we can have overnight activities. So what I'm proposing today is to let you know that we are in the planning stages. We've been approved a plan between the university and Civil Air Patrol to have this inaugural UAS Academy in 2021. The dates will be 8th to 10 July. We're going to be in Price, Utah, in the dorms and the dining facilities at Utah State University Eastern Campus. So we are not going to be sleeping in the desert in tents or in sleeping bags. We want you to be alert and have the facilities there. So again, we have tested this with our other drone activities with Utah State University already and with our summer camps. And so you're going to be able to come and be there for 3 days. And yes, everybody will fly every day. You will have experience, no matter your proficiency level. Come and have some fun. We're going to teach you all about the Civil Air Patrol rules and regulations, the FAA rules and regulations for hobby and Part 107. If you have a drone, bring it, and we will have a chance to showcase and to fly it. But we want to make sure that we get everybody up to speed on where they are and what the next step is for them to become a Civil Air Patrol remote pilot. We're going to talk about the certifications, the processes of what you need to do, and also collect your requests about where we can go as a UAS cadre for the state of Utah to bring the training to your squadron wherever you may live in the state of Utah. So this is the Price area in one of the camps that we did. This is a Wookiee right there, Dan Robinson, showing you some of the drones that will be flying out there. We're going to bring a drone simulator, and everybody will have a chance to actually fly some simulator drone to get some experience. We've got other drone demonstrations. This is a Viking 100 that we are trying to get airborne with Utah State, but it's a little bit larger platform to help people understand the different styles of drones. Different types of demonstrations, and so we want to make sure that you see the different varieties. Dan Robinson has a buddy box. And what that means is that as an instructor, he can have you fly the drone, and at any time he can take over the controls if the drone gets out of hand. And so we'll be able to provide that training for our members here. The objectives for this academy is we want to make sure you understand clearly the difference between hobby and Part 107 rules and why Civil Air Patrol operates under Part 107 rules. We're going to talk about the CAP rules for certifications and the different levels to be out there to be a mission pilot, instructor, or an evaluator, and what mission readiness is. That proficiency is just as important as a certification. And so how do you maintain your proficiency? How do you improve your flying? And I think it's important that no matter the drone that you have, you're going to be able to fly and become more prepared. We're going to talk about how you can assemble, build, repair, because that's part of what you do to be able to mission ready. How many backup batteries you need to have, radio communications, so that you can be better prepared. This is a great activity for STEM and to help cadets and senior members alike learn about aerospace. And so we want to take this experience over 3 days and have you bring it back to your squadrons so you can bring back the energy, enthusiasm of this drone program that we're going to be building in the Civil Air Patrol. So you're going to realize that this academy has two main purposes. One is we want to be able to use drones for search and rescue, disaster relief, emergency services. And so we want to develop a base of Civil Air Patrol members throughout the state of Utah that have that ability to perform missions. But secondly, we also want this to be an aerospace education activity. Because when you are taking the Part 107 license, and this is not going to be a 107 rules class at this summer, but we want you to understand that this can be an activity to learn about airspace and sectionals and weather and how airplanes fly. This is a hands-on experiential learning activity that supports aerospace education for cadets, that supports aerospace education for senior members. And I think, based upon what Colonel Hess talked about and Colonel Johnson talked about today, this could be an outreach activity. We can have drone demonstrations and drone fly-ins and drone activities for communities. And I think this will be a fantastic recruiting tool for Civil Air Patrol. This can be done much cheaper than flying airplanes. It can be done at any location. It's very easy to set up. We can find areas with every squadron where UAS can be a catalyst for increasing the energy and participation, recruiting and retention of Civil Air Patrol. Any questions from anybody before I want to show a fun video? What questions do you have for me about the CAP Academy or about our opportunity? Go ahead.
Do we just show up, or is there an application, or how does that work?
Thank you. So We will have a CAP Form 31 that you'll fill out to ensure that you've completed a senior members cadet protection and that you have ability to attend. We'll be there in our ABUs or appropriate field uniform for Civil Air Patrol seniors. We're going to have 12 seniors and 24 cadets. We reserved lodging. If we need a different variety of male and female rooms, we can do that. You'll be staying in dorms on campus, so you have to bring your own sleeping bag, or sheets and pillows, toiletries, towels. So it'll be like you're camping, but you'll be in a dorm. The registration will go on an Eventbrite for payment. And right now we're looking at the food, the lodging. You'll go home with a drone. You'll have a chance. We're going to have a fun t-shirt and some other giveaways. But the experience we're looking at is going to be $200 for the 3-day experience. And that covers everything you need. And you will go home with a Holy Stone drone that you'll be able to have more proficiency flying. If we get approved to go to phase 3, we will send out an email to all the squadrons with the Eventbrite registration and with the location to send a Form 31 in so we can capture the appropriate Civil Air Patrol permissions, especially for cadets and for this wing level activity. We're also going to open it up to anyone in the region that would like to attend. We'll start at 10 o'clock on the Thursday to allow people time to travel there. If people need to come the day prior, they can let us know and we might be able to get you in the dorms a day early, and we'll finish up Saturday by 4 o'clock so people can be able to return home. But it'll be an Eventbrite. Go ahead.
Sorry, I have a personal question.
Yes.
Did you fly the F-4s in the 36th Fighter Squadron?
The F-4s were just before my time. I flew the C-130s, the slicks at Pope. I was a T-37 instructor, T-38 instructor. I flew the Rescue 130s, the HCs, and as well as the DA-40 or T-52 at the Air Force Academy.
I was an F-4 mechanic down south at Kunsan.
Oh, yes. I was at Osan my last assignment. So I was in Korea 2011 to 2013. My son's at Kunsan with his 16s right now. So that's the base hasn't changed much, I've heard.
Cool. I was there in 74, so.
I was alive. So I want to show you a quick video. This video is about our summer camp, but I want to show you the type of energy and enthusiasm this cadre will bring to our camps. You're going to see some different members of the Utah State University. As we establish this partnership, you'll understand that the Aggie Drone Academy is part of USU Extension. And Sean Barstow is going to be the director of this new organization. And its primary mission as part of the land-grant university is to bring UAS education throughout the state of Utah. Sean Barstow sees the value of joining Civil Air Patrol, so he'll be wearing 2 hats here. He'll be a Civil Air Patrol member, being able to visit squadrons, but he's also as part of the Aggie Drone Academy. We've written a grant with the FAA, and if we get this grant, we will be able to now bring this to communities and schools. And so as we go through this opportunity, we're going to partner with Utah Wing and partner with Civil Air Patrol. And so we will advocate and recruit through our relationship for both Utah State University and Civil Air Patrol. Because our new drone degree is not just available at Logan, but at Price campus as well. And so by hosting this activity in Price, we're showcasing to the state of Utah the relationship and support that the university can offer to Civil Air Patrol, but also that this is a pathway for students to now get a degree and become employed in the aviation and aerospace industry with unmanned aerial systems. And we hope that they'll join Civil Air Patrol and want to support and also see that there's a path for aviation for their future. And so we'll be looking for different types of scholarships and sponsorships to be able to support Civil Air Patrol cadets through our programs. So this is a video on the Aggie Aviation Adventure. It was canceled last year, and unfortunately this year we're not able to do overnight activities, but it freed us to be able to do this support. So here's a video about our Aggie Aviation Adventure to help you get you excited about aviation.
Hey, Baron, the audio from the video from your presentation is not coming through.
I think I hate to say it, Andreas, but I think your bandwidth at the cabin's a little low. Do we have a means by which to see this publicly out there on Utah State's page or something?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm sorry. We had the same problem with the color guard this morning a little bit too. So
Andreas, this is Mike Dyke. If you get that video to me, I will get it posted so they can watch it.
you bet. The reason I wanted to show you that is we have had experience, conducting these types of camps for youth. And every time the adults come by, they go, I want to make an adult camp. So Sean Barstow in the summer of 2019, we did a week-long UAS camp for high school educators. And we put 10 adults through our week-long camp to get them certified to teach. And this was a Part 107 camp. And so we are going to submit in the future. We will be able to provide a Part 107 training at our UAS Academy to help students get ready to fly. Level 2 will be CAP proficiency. And level 3 will be certification. So we want to be able to showcase that ability in the future. So that's kind of what we want to do with this and make it a national special activity. Sean Barstow also conducted a summer citizens camp. This is where a lot of these retirees come up from Arizona. And they spend the summer at Utah State. They live in the dorms, and he had a waiting list of 20 people trying to get in this camp, as well as a youth camp. So we think this is a great opportunity for Utah State to support Civil Air Patrol with its UAS expertise. And so we're bringing some folks that have a lot of experience and expertise in flying. Wookie, Dan Robinson, he's been flying over 30 years. He's got 1,000 hours of UAS time, thousands. Sean Barstow is one of our lead instructors. Spencer Whitehead is one of our lead lone drav assistants. And Mike Logan, he just recently passed his Part 107 test. Congratulations. And so he's on his way to also supporting Civil Air Patrol and the opportunity. So if we have more time, we can talk about how many of you here already have your Part 107 license or a drone. And if you're interested in coming to the camp, we can do a little informal survey. But for this first year, we have to limit it. I want to really encourage the cadets to come. So especially if we're not going to be having encampment or some other challenges, but we're going to be looking at 12 seniors and 24 cadets for 36 folks. But if we have more seniors than cadets that want to attend, I'm okay with that as well. We just want to make sure that we get folks interested in UAS, the ability to come and experience it for the first hand. So whether you're a novice and you've never touched a UAS, or whether you're proficient, want to learn about Civil Air Patrol certifications, this is a great opportunity to network and have some fun at Price, Utah. So what questions do you have for me that I haven't answered? Again, sorry about the buffering of the video.
I just dropped that link in the chat area.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, Mike works as our marketing outreach recruiting coordinator, Mork. So he's the one that has all the ability to showcase our program. Again, I'm not trying to quote unquote just push Utah State University. I'm just trying to help you understand the qualifications that we bring to the table and what this new partnership is going to be for Civil Air Patrol. As a land grant university, our mission is to go throughout the state of Utah. So we'll be able to use this grant to go visit every single squadron in the state of Utah for Civil Air Patrol weekend. That can be one of the ways we can partner. So again, we're just in the early stages of this partnership, and we appreciate Colonel Hess and his eagerness to have us work with our drone folks, with Steve and Doug, and they're coming up Monday to Utah State, and we're going to be flying together. This is our second visit together as we talk about how we can support each other with. We want to make sure Civil Air Patrol is on the map. We want people to see Civil Air Patrol as a resource in their communities. And so that's the next level of publicity and energy, is to partner with Civil Air Patrol as a members of Utah State University.
I have another question.
Yes, please.
A couple of months ago, or I don't know exactly how long, an email was sent out asking for volunteers to join into the program. I filled it out and sent it back. Is that something, once you get this finalized and we're allowed to meet, that you'll let those people know?
I'll let Steve and Doug answer that question.
Yes, the answer to that is that we are currently working with the squadron commanders to identify an operations sUAS operations officer at each unit. The plan is that person will get trained up first, and then will be able to function as the instructor pilot and also the keeper of the aircraft and the other valuable assets. So that person will do the once they're trained up and ready, would be able to train the other people in the unit. Once they're up to an acceptable level, then that person would be able to hand that person off to the candidate off to a check pilot to go ahead and do the credentialing. So sorry it's taking a little longer, and we've been a little shy on the communication. We're just trying to get all the pieces lined up and the corner pieces of the puzzle put together so that we can build the frame.
Okay, thank you.
Well, my closing comments are that as hard as it is for a man pilot to sit on the ground and fly a drone, I know that it's exciting to be able to use this latest technology, and we're going to see it more involved in real world missions. So again, we anticipate that hopefully by 1 June we'll have the Eventbrite up. If we go to phase 3, we will wait as long as we can, but about the 19th of June is the latest day. So if we don't have approval to do a phase 3 overnight by like the 20th of June, we'll have to look at that date. I don't think we'll be able to hold the course overnight portion this summer. So please keep your fingers crossed, get vaccinated, and be safe so that we can move to this next phase. I'm optimistic, and so that's why we're planning. Thank you again for everybody for letting me come and talk about this opportunity to have a CAP UAS Academy. Major Baxter, back to you.
Baron, thank you very much. I think everybody is in agreement with me that your enthusiasm is infectious. This really is a great program, and we're excited to see it move forward. Thank you once again, and we'll be. I'm looking forward to working with you much more closely in the coming months. Colonel, you appear to want to say something.
No, I was just making sure if there was anything called upon to comment on. I'm putting a strong emphasis in my support behind this program, 100%. It's hard when it's something I'm passionate about as well. I would have grabbed one of my UAVs that's sitting up here in my office, but it would have probably gotten damaged in the process because it's a 50-inch rotor platform that can take your head off. But the fact is I'm behind it 100%. I too am very excited about the partnership with Andreas and getting this taken care of. And I'm glad to see that we have good, strong individuals in Steve and Doug and Mike and others taking the charge here, because as you noticed in my opening comments, it's definitely a mission of emphasis for us. So let's make it happen. Let's get it done. And I'm working the logistics with National to see if we can't get that overnight taken care of and approved.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Does anyone else have any questions? We've got just 3 or 4 minutes before our allotted time is up, but I'd like to answer any question that you might have.
Can you speak to what happens in the CAP Form 5, or I guess it's 5U? Is that the training part of for CAP?
Sure. Well, look, actually, let's see if I can get this this thing to come off full screen. There we go. All right, so let me share. Oh, of course, it's going to log me out. So, all right. So if you go into the SQTR entry worksheet in OpsQuals, let's look at the sUAS technician. All right. So the beginning before the Form 5U, there are a number of prerequisites that you need to go through, same as any other qualification. The General Emergency Services exam, your commander needs to be aware of what you're doing, some prep work, and then there are some advanced training things that you need to take care of. The only thing I have remaining for my technician is the hazardous material FEMA course. You know, it's things like, can you find a point on a map using lat long? Do you know how to read a gridded sectional? Can you participate in a demonstration flight? Show how to reduce fatigue? You know, the standard things, and then participate as a technician in 5 exercises. So that's the basic for the technician. To become a mission pilot, you become a technician and you do all of those things. Then in addition, you need to complete the Form 5U, which is much like the manned Form 5U, but quite a bit simpler. So, you know, there will be situational awareness, risk management, the standard sorts of things, and it will be necessary for you to demonstrate that you can control the aircraft, the drone, in precision flying maneuvers, which basically means that you can fly a square pattern, you can fly a circular pattern around a point, you can take off, land, ascend, descend, etc. Beyond that, there will be additional requirements to learn how to fly some of our standard mission profiles, like, you know, be able to fly a creeping line search, or a point of interest search, a sector search, an expanding square, and so forth. And a lot of those can be automated. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's, you know, it may seem like an overwhelming task, but when you consider what you need for an actual mission, it's really not that tough. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks for the detail. I'm just studying to get the Part 107 done, and I was anticipating what's next.
Okay. Well, the 107 is an important part, and obviously that needs to be done as well. Are there other questions? Okay, well, thank you everybody for your participation. We are at the end of and beyond our allotted time, so I need to let you go to your next presentation. Thank you for your participation, and we hope to see you all soon.
Thanks,
Thank
Doug,
you.
Steve, and Andreas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Mhm.
Thanks, Stephen. That helps a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Donna.
Hope to see you in July.
Let's cross our fingers and hope that we can all be there.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll make sure everybody knows we are very optimistic, but again, a lot can change between now and then, but we anticipate that we'll be able to have a good turnout and some fun camaraderie, and everybody goes home with a drone and a fun shirt about drones, being a drone team. So look forward to that. Hey, Steve, Doug, thanks for the opportunity to join your group, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow up in Logan.
Baron, thank you. Thank you very much. It's I think this was a really motivational presentation. So I'm looking forward to seeing people sign up and we move this program forward.
I just think getting people together to encourage each other will help you do that. So, all right, see you at the next presentation, and I'll text you my address so you and Doug know where to come.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. Bye-bye,
Bye now.
everyone.